See, the only thing is which you have to bear in mind as a matter of robust common sense. The idea of somebody who was doing this was not just to make a national charade of the NEET exam. The people who are doing it were in it for money.
Correct.
Right?
That's right.
It was not people who wanted to sort of bring the whole exam into disrepute.
Correct.
What you would do to bring the whole exam into disrepute is to have a massive dissemination.
This became public.
So
only after
why
the examination.
would right? Somebody who was doing it admittedly, as it now appears, to make money out of the process.
That's right.
Therefore, anybody who was making money out of it, he would not circulate it on a mass scale unless he has that network to also connect with other people.
Right.
Like you have, say, 10 people across in 10 different cities in the state
Right.
who are all involved in the leakage and being part of the conspiracy to make money.
That's right.
So, is it your case? I mean, we have made a note of that point that this was circulated on Telegram on early morning on the
4th of May.
4th of May at 12:02 a.m.
That's right.
So the whole of 4th went.
Correct. All of 4th and then on 5th, because the examination is on 5th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Actually, my friend is not correct. We have replied to this in our additional affidavit also, as well as written affidavit.
When was it actually put on the Telegram channel?
Telegram channel, our stand is let's. It is a doctored video. Edited is shown in the picture itself, which we have placed on record along with our.
But this is another.
And the time
let
is
me complete it. If I can complete.
Please. 5th May, 1740 is the time of this Blitz video.
Not this one.
Let him show Blitz that video he is talking about. We have got this.
Telegram channel has an inbuilt feature. If you made some changes or you tamper with it, then that change is also reflect. And therefore, we came to know that this was somebody had circulated after the examination.
Yes, I will show that video and what they are trying to say and demonstrate that it is factually incorrect.
1740.
Yes, if I can, my lord, straight away invite my lord kind attention to NTA additional reply, my lord, what the Learned Solicitor General is saying. Page 24 of NTA additional reply, my lord. There is. This is another Akash test series they have bought it. We didn't know that. But they say there was another channel which was circulating. And they say this circulation happened post the examination. And what is the basis to say so? Let me explain it, my lord. Kindly see page 24 of this NTA additional reply. Now, my lord, this is the original screen at page 1, page 24, which shows paper.
To India.
No, my lord. This is additional affidavit of NTA. It is a screen like this, my lord. This. It will be a screen like this. Page 24, my lord. Annexure A2.
976, yes.
Annexure A2.
Yes.
Now, my lord, kindly see the second half of it where date May 4 is written. And then there is a paper being shown in this chat. Now, at the bottom of it, my lord, that red circle, they say this is edited. This is edited. Paper is being shown on 4th of May on this Telegram channel. The date is appearing on the top. And at the bottom of this document, kindly see the circle they have done it for facility.
Circle indicates what? The answer?
Yes, circle, they say, indicates that this message is edited. And so maybe time is edited. This is their argument. And the real time is, kindly see the next page. They say this is the real time. Now I will explain. Page 25, they say the time is 5/5/2024, 1540, 1740. There is a fundamental flaw in this argument. One argument is, my lord, whenever a Telegram channel document is pressed for edited, it can swap. Lord, it can swap the document, but the time will remain the same. It can't change the time. I have tried it myself, Lord, with the help of my colleague. If on a Telegram channel, I receive a document, I want to edit it. I can swap the document, but the time will not change. This is one. They say the time is changed, which is impossible. Now the next page 25, the time they are giving is not the time of receipt of a document. It is a watermark.
Excuse me, if I open this question, please.
Found and seen the video.
What else now?
Yes. Now, with this, allow me, to come back to Hazaribagh, just one news item to demonstrate that how it is an admitted thing, almost admitted thing that the paper is leaked on 3rd of May. Allow me, to come back to my supplementary note for a moment. Page 12 of my supplementary note. note. Lord, that is essential. Allow me to read that. Lord. Page 11. My supplementary note. I have, Lord, only two notes. One the main note and the other is supplementary note. Lord, where I had shown the edit syllabus.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Page 11. Lord, allow me to read this news. The Central Bureau of Investigation probing the NEET UG paper leak case on Friday arrested 3 persons, including principal of so-and-so, and vice principal of the OSS school Hazaribagh, and interrogated 13 suspects arrested by Patna police at so-and-so jail in Bihar capital. The CBI sleuths also visited so-and-so with 2 accused to explore the potential involvement of Rocky, nephew of alleged mastermind Sanjeev Mukhia, in the case. The principal and vice principal of Hazaribagh school, one of the center for the exam conducted on 5th of May, were arrested after 3 days of the questions involving more than 60 hours over the allegations of tampering of question papers. The identity of the third person could not be ascertained till the time of filing of this report. 3 arrested found like this in a Telegram channel. Telegram page 24 indicate that on 4th of May, question paper is being circulated. The photograph of the question paper, my lord, appearing, we have compared it with the original. It is this original question paper. The date shown on the top of it is 4th of May and the time is 9 a.m. Now they want this honorable court to disbelieve this date and time with the next page showing. Lord, may kindly see the next page. Next page, page 45 is not the date and time which can ever appear like this in a Telegram channel. It is a watermark. If I click a picture, with a date and time on, I photo it, then it will appear that the photo is taken on this time and this date. Kindly see the watermark. It's not a date and time appearing on the Telegram. Date and time appears like the one it is appearing at page 24. This is how they want this honorable court to believe this. And this is something other than the flame blare, which we have found and seen the video.
What else now?
Yes. Now, with this, allow me, to come back to Hazaribagh, just one news item to demonstrate that how it is an admitted thing, almost admitted thing that the paper is leaked on 3rd of May. Allow me, to come back to my supplementary note for a moment. Page 12 of my supplementary note. That is essential. Allow me to read that. Page 11. My supplementary note. I have, only 2 notes. One the main note and the other is supplementary note. Where I had shown the edit syllabus.
Yes.
Yes, page 11. Allow me to read this news. The Central Bureau of Investigation probing the NEET UG paper leak case on Friday arrested 3 persons, including principal of so-and-so, and vice principal of the OSS school Hazaribagh, and interrogated 13 suspects arrested by Patna police at so-and-so jail in Bihar capital. The CBI sleuths also visited so-and-so with 2 accused to explore the potential involvement of Rocky, nephew of alleged mastermind Sanjeev Mukhia, in the case. The principal and vice principal of Hazaribagh school, one of the center for the exam conducted on 5th of May, were arrested after 3 days of the questions involving more than 60 hours over the allegations of tampering of question papers. The identity of the third person could not be ascertained till the time of filing of this report. 3 arrested persons will be produced in CBI court in Patna. CBI had seized cell phone, laptops, school CCTV camera footage with the assistance of forensic experts on Tuesday. According to sources, the CBI uncovered crucial evidence from the 3 months call records obtained from Huck's phone, which led to his arrest. Huck, who served as the district coordinator for NEET, had earlier expressed concern about a potential leak originating from a private courier company and the SBI that the breach might have occurred at their end. The CBI, which was initially concentrating on the route from the office of the private courier firm at so-and-so to CBI main branch, Julu Park, shifted its focus after analyzing CCTV footage. The footage confirmed that no tampering occurred along this stretch, leading to CBI to suspect Huck, who consistently provided the same response during questioning. Sources told TOI that CBI's attention turned to OSS school, located on Mandai Road near Kalu Chowk, and its staff. The agency began gathering digital evidence and uncovered that e-rickshaw had gone directly to OSS school on May 3 instead of proceeding to the CBI main branch where it was supposed to be stored. in the strong room. CBI sources said that at the school, the aluminium box was tampered with and the packet containing the question paper was removed. A glue stick was used to reseal the package containing the question paper. The Economic Offences Unit, which had been investigating the case before it handed over to the CBI, also corroborated these findings according to the source. Milord, allow me to skip this. Now kindly see the next page at page Milord, 14. I'm sorry, this is page 14 and then 15 is Milord, this e-rickshaw and the principal of the school who has been arrested now for tampering with the trunk and seal, etc. Page 15. Milord, this is the e-rickshaw. In the affidavit, they said that it is called sealed vehicle. Covered and sealed vehicle, guarded, and where all sort of security. Now, this is how Milord.
Students pay for the NEET exam.
Pardon?
How much does each student pay for the NEET exam? 1,700.
The reserved category was how much for the reserved category?
3,200
1,700
for the reserved category.
general category.
1,700 for the general category. And reserved category, 0.33 lakh students into 1,700. How much does it work? Sorry?
And then they have transported these Milord boxes in an e-rickshaw with one driver. There is no guard.
Nobody would pose with a photo, to pose for to be photographed like this if these are question papers. This is a part of the process. When you hand over or take over something, you pause with the receipt, etc. This is OMR sheets, not question paper.
That's 1,700 for the general. General EWS, OBC and NCL is 1,600.
From the exam.
Expense split.
How much do you make in terms of revenue for this?
Revenue generation. It's about 400 crores and the expenditure is about 300 crores.
Mr. Solicitor, you engage a private courier company?
Lord, your lordships may allow me to show. Lord, the checks.
There is no CCTV in the centers. There is no toilets in some of the
We are not
areas
on
where
toilets. There are
56%. There is no CCTV.
CCTV footage is recovered. I will, Lord, show when my turn comes.
All right, your
Yes,
third point now.
besides this-
What is the third point? Supplementary.
Yeah,
note?
Milord, besides this, we have placed on record 161 statements recorded by Bihar police of the accused, which indicate that the paper was available on 4th. If I can straight away read just one statement. That statement is in Milord, my main note dated 10th of July. Just one statement. Allow me, Milord, to read from there.
You are reading Anurag Yadav's statement?
I'm read. Yes.
Yes, that your translation is wrong. I have got the original in Hindi.
Okay.
Then
So I
it's
believe
wrong on a very
believe-
crucial point.
Read Hindi. I believe.
It's wrong on a very crucial point.
Okay. Okay.
Must be a mistake. I am not alleging anything.
Okay. So, Milord, this statement indicates that my uncle dropped me on 4th, right? The paper leak was on 4th.
One statement with you.
Who gave you this? Milord, yes, Milord, in fact, because so many people are circulating this material on social media from everywhere, Milord, though the candidates here are less, but the anxiety on a social media and the kind of Milord, students who are affected by it, but not coming forward to file a petition before this honorable court. They are supporting all these petitions and this kind of a material is being supplied. And Milord, even the officers, Milord, the other day, I had placed on record the press note of Bihar police. The IG police gave that press note. Now, subsequently, they say they have backtracked. A thing is happening in this case. So let them deny that these are not the correct. This is what they say. In the counter affidavit, they say that this is not a certified copy of 161 statement and hence it should be discounted from the evidence.
Info. According to you, the leaked question paper was in the leaked mode on the 4th itself.
Correct. Lord, I would say third because for a reason. Let me give a reason. Lord. As per their affidavit, they say all questions papers were deposited with the SBI and Canara Bank on 3rd of May.
Right.
And thereafter, it was taken out of the wallet of the respective banks on 5th of May, 8:15 a.m. on 5th of May.
And according to them, the leak occurred then.
No, Milord, they don't say, they are in a denial mode. Now, what I say is, if the leak has not happened during the custody of the banks, then the leak has either happened on the day of the examination or on 3rd or prior to 3rd. There is no leak between 3rd and 5th because the question papers remained in the custody.
Also, I mean, possibly, if according to them, the leak takes place sometime on the morning of the 5th, according to them by.
Yes, they don't say
They
this.
say that the student, what they say that the
Students were made to memorize.
memorize on the 5th
Now
morning.
let the memorize.
One second. If the students were made, according to them, the students were made to memorize on the 5th morning. All right, according to them. If then, why is the chap behind you saying no to everything that I say? We've also read our brief.
Sorry. Yeah.
According to them, the students were made to memorize. That means prior to the 5th morning, somebody had solved the question
The
papers.
whole argument. I'm so grateful.
If somebody had solved the question papers, it certainly doesn't go to the 5th morning.
Correct.
It has to go at least to the 4th, 5th night, night between the 4th and the 5th.
That's right.
In
And
which case the leak has occurred sometime prior to the night of the 4th and 5th.
I'm so grateful. And
So, which means that their question is, when did the papers get leaked?
That's what I was saying.
I would say, if they are certain that leak has not happened when the question papers were in the custody of the banks, then certainly the leak has happened on 3rd or prior to 3rd.
Before the questions were given to
deposit, because
before they were given to the bank.
Correct. That's right. Before they were deposited with the bank, everywhere in the entire country, their stand is the question papers were deposited with the banks on 3rd of May. And in their custody, it remained in a wallet, and no bank officials are accused and have been arrested. There is no allegation against bank officials.
By the way, in the ordinary course, before the exam, when were they supposed to leave the vaults of the bank? Exam was at 2 o'clock on
15 in the morning.
Right.
They say that the center head will go collect paper. Now, there is another systemic failure, let me point out simultaneously, like in Bahadurgarh. So the head went to both banks, SBI and Canara Bank, collected paper from both banks, whereas he should have collected paper only from one bank and
Now
distributed.
tell us one thing.
Please.
There are two possibilities, distinct possibilities. One, the paper gets leaked before the questions are lodged in the custody of the Canara Bank and the State Bank of India, which means that the leak has taken place before the 3rd.
Correct.
Third, they were all safely with State Bank and Canara Bank.
Correct.
The alternate hypothesis is that the leak takes place after they are distributed from the Canara Bank and the State Bank of India and are bound for the centers.
Listen, now, Milord, that is a remote possibility for the reasons, Milord.
Because between 8, going by their hypothesis, between 8:15 in the morning and 10:15 when the students were, according to them, given the papers, it's very unlikely that in 2 hours the questions were solved and then given.
everything, and they were made to memorize. This is impossible.
So the alternate hypothesis appears to be more logical, according to you.
That's
That the leak occurred even before the question papers were lodged with the
That's right.
Thanks.
Correct. That is my respectful submission.
the State Bank of India and Canara Bank.
Unless it is their case that
And
the
in
leak
which
happened
case,
when it
the
was in
leak
the
has happened between sometime before the 3rd
before the third.
or on or before the 3rd. Then between the 3rd and 5th, there's a fairly long period of time.
That's during the period, Milord, it was in the custody of a private courier company where they were taking it into rickshaws and here and there for days together in private hands.
So what is, since when was NTA established?
2017.
It was 17, Milord, the first NEET exam they conducted in 2019.
But 2019 onwards, the questions have always been handled by private companies or private couriers?
In the route, en route, there are checks. And if any courier company or any employee of a courier company tampers with the vehicle in which he is transporting the trunks, it would be registered on a real-time basis with digital footprints. I'll be able to show.
But how is the digital footprint not available here then?
It's not the CBI has investigated that there is no tampering en route.
Why don't-
Anyway,
There is no tampering.
en route.
Then where does the tampering take place?
There is the tampering. has taken-
Hey, don't laugh. I mean, we are asking a serious question. This is not, we are not trying to poke fun at the argument or anything. We are trying to understand it.
No, I understand, Manoj. Anyway, Manoj, let us.
According to you, where does the leak take place?
There is no leak which has taken place.
No, okay, where does the breach take place?
There is a breach which has taken place where we have the timings, we have the CCTV footage of someone going inside the particular center. That's what I wanted to show to your lordship.
So, what time does that take place?
Yes, my lord, it is 9. Give me the first report. Lord, it's a part of my between 8 to between in the morning 8 to 9:23.
Is
The person goes in, photographs the paper and comes out, and thereafter, my lord, your lordships will find, my lord, investigation.
But 1 second. Assuming that happens between 8 and 9:20, we have to test this hypothesis in the ordinary course of things.
Yes.
According to you, the students got the question paper at about 10 o'clock, 10:15.
After 10, after it was solved.
Is it likely this questions, there are 180 questions.
Yes.
Right? Is it possible that in 45 minutes between 9:30 and 10:15, they would have problem solvers preparing the answers to 180 questions and then putting it together for the students in 45 minutes?
Lord, they got 1 hour and there were 7 solvers. I can't, my lord, divulge all this information. It's a part of my report. There were 7 solvers. They demarcated 25 questions each. And I can tell you, lordship, Lord, why they were required to memorize. Lord, if we are, all of us are sitting in one classroom, the 180 plus 20 questions would be same. But the number of the question would be
That's right, jumbled up.
shuffled.
That's right.
My question number 1 would be his question number 8. So nobody can give a answer sheet ready that A answer is D, B answer is C. They will have to memorize. And so far the investigation has been able to identify 18 students, and because of this lack of time from 10 to 12, because they were asked to go back to their centers, they have to report to the
But
center.
Mr. Solicitor, the whole hypothesis that within 45 minutes to an hour, not only was there a breach, but the entire question paper was solved in a space of 45 minutes
No,
and
within
then given
1
to
hour.
the students.
Within 1 hour.
Seems to be very far-fetched. In 1 hour, all that happened.
Lord, within 1 hour, and there were 7 solvers, and 7 solvers bifurcated questions.
So, according to you, the leak, the breach occurred when the
8 to a.m. in the morning to 9:23 in the morning.
It was taken out.
So the papers left the vault at 8 o'clock. 8 to.
9:23. They didn't have much time, therefore,
But what time did the papers leave the vault of the State Bank of India or Canara Bank, whichever bank?
7:30, which is under the videography, under the CCTV, we have recovered the footage, and there is no.
So 7:30 they leave the bank.
Yes,
After that, the paper
they
is.
bring it to the center.
What time does it reach the center?
5 minutes.
From Hazaribagh.
7:45. And since the
So, but assuming that it was 8:02 to
We have
9:30.
evidence to show. Lord, I'll be able to show it to you, Lord. And that is why, that is the reason why, because the students got only 2 hours, Lord, to memorize the questions. I'll be able to show that. Lord, out of 18 students who are identified, who have, Lord, brought at a particular place, only 1 student, Lord, is getting possible admission. Lord, of course, now he would be facing the debarment, etc. Only 1.
But there are about 225 students totally involved.
No,
225.
Lord, I cannot give the figure, but it would not cross, my Lord, 150. That's our estimate. And I will be able to substantiate these facts, my Lord, by the very my Lord, meticulous investigation conducted. My Lord, the person who went inside for the purpose of breaking is arrested. The
CBI second report.
my Lord, I would request your lordships, my Lord, to closely scrutinize the CBI status report. My Lord, if your lordships can, my Lord, may I request in report number 1, kindly read from para 27 onwards.
Now see report number 2.
Yes.
Report number 2.
Yesterday, my Lord, it was filed yesterday. Would your lordships consider?
Para 113.8 at page 13.
Second, your lordships are on para.
Page 13, para 113.8.
Yes, the total number of candidates so and so from the are around so and so. Therefore, my Lord, I say that it would not cross roughly, my Lord, 150. And at every stage of the travel route,
113.8,
8.
113.8. Just read it in your mind.
Yes, the
That's
total
all.
number
That's all.
around 150.
This is your figure.
Yes, therefore I said my total would not cross 150. Let it check.
Distance between Patna and Hazaribagh?
Patna.
What is the distance between
Lord, it is at a distance. Lord, the one gang member who was also at Hazaribagh, Lord, sent it by what?
How much? 240.
It is my 240 around. And their model is, my Lord, Lord, their model is not to allow students also to take photographs because if it leaks, they have been given, kindly, this is crucial. The parents have given post-dated checks. Para 50 of first report, if your lordships can see on this in this context, page 19.
Hazaribagh se gaye.
Even 15 questions.
Let's say request to once again go through these two reports. Their modus operandi or business model, whichever way we put it, is they ensure that the paper is not leaked and given to students whose parents have given post-dated check over and above the advance money. So that if it leaks and spread into thousands of people, then the examination is cancelled and they will not get any. So students were called for the purpose of memorization, were asked to keep their mobiles out. They also purchased, I don't wish to divulge much, it's mentioned there, accused are in custody. We are not adverse to the petitioners.
The problem solvers been arrested by the CBI?
3 of them yesterday. Today also something is happening.
Sorry?
Doctors, I think. Don't, now you say medical students. Earlier you said doctors. Why are you doing this?
Doctors or medical students at 8-3 days, that is happened yesterday. I don't know what has happened today. It's an evolving situation.
Because their investigation will show us when they got the question papers. Because, I'll tell you one thing. Really, what is worrying us is how much was the period between the time when the breach occurred and the time of the exam. The shorter it is, the less the likelihood of a widespread dissemination. If that time period is say 3 days, then obviously that there's a greater danger of. If that time period is say about 4 hours, then the only question is.
For the petitioners, I am not adversarial to them.
Second, I mean, we have to also look at it this way. Does somebody pay, say, 75 lakhs of rupees for a 45-minute deco into an exam?
Not that much also. It's not, the figure is also not.
The question is, would they then seek to recover the
Para 105 of the first report.
105. Maybe, because so this is post-dated check. Yes, meritorious. The parents underestimated. It is really a painful thing. It is a painful. When we went, I can't share all this, where we went for interrogation. But some girls' engagement was going. Are considering whether it is a localized event which can be identified student-wise, or it is a widespread event.
Mr. Huda, tell us one thing. Is there any evidence, or we are conscious of your limitations also, because investigation is still going on. Investigation is still unfolding. Is there any material to indicate that a similar pattern was replicated outside Patna and Hazaribagh?
No.
There is only one instance. Lord, in Godhra, that OMR sheet thing, they say that the plot was that the students will leave the OMR sheets unmarked, and in the time between time for examination is over and before it is deposited, the geography lecturer, Mr. Tushar Bhatt, he will do the filling and will deposit it. The common sense suggests that he can't do it as a geography teacher. Unless the paper is already leaked, he has the ready answer, so that as soon as the paper is given to him, he sit down and do the mark.
But Godhra, ultimately nothing happened because the district administration stepped in.
That they prevented it by arresting the person before he could do the needful. But the question is, there was people from different states had come to Godhra to let the machination fructify. So the people filled that center pertaining to Karnataka and all other states from the Odisha, Karnataka, etc.
How many students, just 1 second. Godhra, how many students appeared?
In total, the students, but
nobody is getting admission.
we can't.
Nobody is getting admission.
Your Lordship, allow me.
What has happened?
Nobody's getting admission because it never went to successful fruition.
That's right.
What has
But tell us one thing. Totally, Godhra, how many centers were there? We just wanted to.
I'll just in the meanwhile, and what happened in Godhra? My learned friend is right. There was a person called Tushar Bhatt. He was the center superintendent, that in charge of that center. He assured students that you pay me this amount. What I will do is I'll ask the physics teacher and chemistry teacher to fill up the answer sheets. Whatever you can answer positively, you are confident, you answer. Otherwise, leave blank because.
Who is Tushar Bhatt?
Tushar Bhatt is he is a physics teacher.
Center superintendent.
himself is a physics teacher and he's,
Geography teacher. If I read correctly, it's a geography teacher.
I'll just check.
That's what
But
we have read.
physics teacher and
So he
geography
was like the invigilator at the center. He was the invigilator at the center.
in charge of the center, but the physics
And it is alleged that, after the students had filled in their OMR sheets,
he would get
the
3
blanks,
hours.
the blanks would be filled in by the
Filled in by me. This information was, came to the knowledge of district magistrate and district education officer.
Lord, this was
There-
a month before. Lord, I had shown the email a month before this information was
So
given.
Godhra has nothing to do with the paper leak per
Paper
se.
leak. Therefore, the
Except that what they are saying is that if the center in charge had made that representation, obviously he had the answers somewhere.
what he said was that they are also arrested.
But were any of the solved question papers recovered from the center in charge in Godhra?
He was not permitted, because the officers came at 2 o'clock on. They sat through the exam. And in their presence, they ensured that everything is sealed and sent. So those who kept blank remained blank.
And now from totally, how many students appeared from Godhra? Totally. How many centers were there in Godhra? 2 centers in Godhra. How many total number of students in Godhra? 2513.
How many from outside came?
I'm just going to come to 2513 in the 2 centers. Now, out of the 2513, how many come within the cutoff for 1.08 lakh seats?
How many are likely?
Around 12.
Just a second, I'll just write Godhra, 2 centers, 2513 candidates. And how many come within that 1.08 lakh, the last cutoff?
12, my lord.
12.
12?
About 18.
18.
One center 12, another center about. We have given this pattern of mark distribution also. Their performance also is below average. That is that PDF page number 1016.
How many students at Godhra out of the 2,513 had come in from, who had changed their centers?
The 14 could do it. Its application was done by about 36. It was not allowed for on account of non-availability. Only 14 were allowed change of center.
Is there anyone getting out of?
No.
Out of 14, nobody is getting admission in there. 1,08,000.
Who originally applied? Somebody from.
Mr. Hoda, that even Godhra seems to be a sort of a localized. Godhra
Issue more than Malot.
Godhra, it never went through in the sense that before they could do anything, there was arrest.
My submission is not that
Right.
actually the cheating has happened in Godhra, but I say the leak footprint was not confined to Patna. The
It came
paper
to
had
Godhra.
gone everywhere, and
Not
there was
everywhere. We at least now look, we take your point that there's a likelihood that the leaked answers had traveled to Godhra as well.
That's right.
But Godhra, there is one clear distinction that the students had no opportunity to put their.
Lord, somewhere they are caught, somewhere they are not caught. Something
No,
is
but Godhra,
noticed,
no.
something is unnoticed.
Godhra, there is no wrongdoing at all eventually.
Yes.
Because before they could, because the process was not the students memorizing the question, but the center in charge putting the right dots.
But Lord,
That never took place in Godhra.
Lord, here this honorable court is considering the question whether the leak has a widespread footprint or not. Now, this is one of an indicator that this Mr. Tushar Bhatt had the answers beforehand so that he can do it. So it's a possibility. A possibility cannot be ruled out that he had the sold question paper.
Godhra?
Yes,
Apart from
seven. Even physics and chemistry teacher who is supposed to put the dots, to answer the questions, they are also arrested.
I see.
And with Mr. Tushar Bhatt, who it's a case of cheating. He cheated the students. That you pay me 10 lakhs, I'll do.
It's a case of malpractice, but it assumes that they had the benefit of the answer sheets.
That's right.
The solved question paper.
That's right.
Because those physics and chemistry teachers who were to fill in the blank, they would not do it on the spot. They would have the pre-prepared swab.
Mr. Bhatt said, I would have 3 hours before I seal the answer. So he gave it to the students or the parents.
That was his representation.
That is his representation based upon which he recovered some money.
Mr. Huda, from what we have now, I think we can wrap up your submission because we are the other
I will
side.
just quickly wrap
Now,
up in 10
it
minutes.
appears that Godhra I don't think we can say is an example of a very widespread
I have
decay.
just one thing to point out.
But A, there is no evidence to indicate that actually that scheme went through. In which case, as of now, we find that there is only wrongdoing which has taken place in Hazaribagh and Patna. To postulate that, on that basis, then the only thing which we are left with are the statistics.
And what
That 61 students got 720 out of 720. Out of 61 students, as we now know, 44 got it because of that award of full marks, treating both the options of a question as correct. Can we cancel an examination only on that basis?
Yes,
That's
but
the point.
let me very
Or is it something which falls short of the threshold which requires the court to cancel an
Let me
entire examination?
very rapidly give me my view. A month before, admittedly, College Kaka, which I pointed out on the first date also, wrote to NTA that College Kaka is a counseling center on 3rd of April 2024, more than a month before this exam. He indicated that this scam of OMR sheets being filled up later is going to happen. Please take care. The email is received on 3rd of April. In their response now, they say the email from the entity College Kaka subsequently has been forwarded by NTA to the appropriate concerned authority for investigation and necessary action. So this conspiracy was already a month before hatched.
I'll just do it.
But one more angle, this Mr. Bhatt, Tushar Bhatt, would have the question paper from 2 o'clock, not after 5. One of his students can give it to him. And they would start solving it. Thereafter, that was his idea of committing fraud, and therefore he started approaching parents of his knowledge. Post-dated checks are recovered. We have recovered 30 post-dated checks.
Yes, my lords wanted to know.
Rapidly, my lord, wrap it up.
Whose center was changed, which they say is pre-planned and conspiracy. Not even a single candidate has come. Actually, at that.
My lord, the story they are giving to this honorable court that the paper was collected from Hazaribagh at 7:30 and 240 kilometer in the transit, there was a breach. And on that breach, everything happened. Paper was
I
sold.
don't think that is the case.
My lord,
It's
that's
not-
the case.
Mr. Solicitor, is it your case, Mr. Kaushika, which was being transported from Hazaribagh?
Yes.
No, not from Hazaribagh. It traveled to Hazaribagh to one of the gang members.
Lord, that
It
is
happened in Patna.
Lord,
It's a school.
Oasis school is in Hazaribagh, your Lord, right? Where this breach happened.
But the breach occurred at Oasis school, according.
And we have the CCTV footage.
That
The
the school
footage
is 3rd of May.
before 8:02 a.m. where both the trunks are like this. After 9:23, both the trunks are
And what about the Patna breach?
It is linked.
linked to Hazari. Under para 50, my lord, if you
What
are
they say
No, but therefore, the Hazaribagh, the leak occurred in Oasis school, according to you.
Yes.
But in Patna, how is it linked to Hazaribagh?
My lord, the gang was, if your lordship sees para 50 of my first report.
Lord, 3rd of May, the Hazaribagh, it reached 3rd of May. School.
My lord, page 19. Chintu is Hazaribagh. But this Chintu is Patna. Yes. And they ensured, my lord, that they purchase a new mobile with a new SIM card so that there is no further leak.
I'm not sure. 45 minutes, the whole question paper can be solved. So the primary breach occurs at Hazaribagh,
Yes.
where the the solving also takes place at Hazaribagh. It's relayed to Patna and then disseminated at 10:15. So that means between 9:30 and 10:15, the entire 180 questions were solved.
After question.
Is the Patna FIR, the Patna police who first launched the FIR
Can I?
at 6 o'clock. They say we were tipped off by our people by the police in Hazaribagh. We catch that man there. That man tells us that we were on the previous evening itself. We were taken to this play school and all this was memorized. And what came in the NEET exam was exactly the same. So therefore, the leak, it has reached Patna on the 4th.
No.
Please read the FIR. Please read the FIR. Please read the
FIR is
FIR.
not the final copy.
The Patna FIR, the Patna police,
My lord, would your lordship?
it's the Patna FIR which is crucial. And
why?
why?
A minute.
and
The case
just-
diary, do we have the case diary of the Patna police?
The Patna
We have
police has
we have
submitted,
recovered.
they have submitted a report,
My lord, let when is my lord,
which is the EOU report to the ministry. That report has not been placed before your lordships because the CBI takes over on the 22nd of June.
What is-
Or before that, the investigation was done by Patna, by the EOU. the EOU submitted a comprehensive report which is not before your lordship.
My lord-
Your lordship compares that report with what the CBI has done. Many more questions will arise.
Now, let me answer questions rather than arising questions. And please don't.
Please summon that.
We are in the court, not on the screen. Please see. Para 50.
My lords, that's an unwanted thing from the Solicitor General.
Anyway, my lord, para 50 at page 90.
That's not.
At
All right.
10:15 a.m.
Mr. Mehta,
That anyway. At 10:15 a.m. on 5/5/24, so and so received NEET solved exam question paper number so and so. Your lordship knows, my lord, there was a burnt question paper which was found by Patna police. And burnt question paper had the center number. Question number so and so.
Which Kumar accesses it in OA?
This, Lord, may I say something? Lord, para 51 also. One part goes at 10:35. My lord, at the outset. Lord, Mr. Hegde is a dear friend. We pull each other's legs, but this was unwarranted. Leaving it at that. Lord, half of the question, my lord, paper was received at 10:35. Your lordship would find page 21, the photograph. They burnt the question paper because they didn't want that to travel anywhere else because that was their the source of money. But a part was not fortunately recovered, which contains this 6136488. This is the center number of
Hazaribagh, how many centers were there?
5.
Five. Just once, I'll make a note of that.
So students were also, my lord, from all over the center. The leak is at one center, but OS is, my lord, but
Centers. Totally, how many students in Hazaribagh?
one the candidates. Achha, total candidates.
Total.
Candidates. That's
These
5,730. 730.
2736. Kitne qualify hote?
How many candidates would now fall in that 1.08 lakh? How many of those 2,700 would have qualified for admission?
We will.
Because we'll see.
One thing is clear, they are not in the first. Lord, kindly see, my lord, report of the IIT Madras.
That we got 56,000 are for the government medical colleges, the rest will be.
Hazaribagh or Patna, my lord, doesn't find place there. So possibly,
Let's-
very few would be, my lord, selected.
In the 1.08 lakh candidates, how many? We want to now see because admittedly there has been a breach at Hazaribagh and Patna.
It's from all 5 centers. Those who would be able to qualify are around 80.
1.8.
88. यहाँ से देखना पड़ता है.
How many centers in Patna?
I'll give you a
Lord, in first 60,000, earlier, in first 60,000, 60, in 2023, Patna had 1993 students. I am reading from the report of the IIT. Now it has come down to 1561 students. First 60,000. Thereafter, my lord, I'll
Now this time Patna, how many centers were there? 7 centers? They are saying 7.
come to yeah.
12 centers.
12 centers. And totally how many candidates?
But
I'll give the exact.
Continue करना है वो.
यहाँ पे नहीं वो तो first 100 लेकिन first मतलब those who will be qualified.
Continue on Monday at 10:30 so that we'll take this before we take our so by lunch we would have concluded the matter on Monday. So we would like to have a copy of the Bihar police report. If that can be circulated. EOU.
Now there are two. One is local police. Thereafter it was transferred to EOU. I'll place both.
So let the both be placed, and if they can supply us.
So we'll take it up on Monday at 10:30 and we'll do our miscellaneous board Monday post lunch. Hopefully we'll finish this by lunch.
I think, my lord, Advocate Darbara here, I have like two requests, my lord.
The counseling can be stayed where because the counseling they have slated.
Counseling takes 3-4 months, but
Keeping it after 2 days basically.
we had to declare counseling, my lord, and it would start from 24th of July or something. My lord, I must bring it to your lordship's notice. It may not happen, my lord.
We are taking it on Monday itself. We are now taking it on Monday itself.
Please.
Lord, may consider declaration of the result because not entire data what they are talking about we can't really corroborate it
Until
if they can only
They are from the last
I
time.
will satisfy lordship. No examination declares because this is individual's personal property. My lord, it's
UPSC
you are
does
not-
it.
UPSC also does. UPSC does not. I'll satisfy.
And why not that?
My learned friend appears for you.
But what if you declare the put the result?
That
minus the names with only the roll number.
Yes, my lord, roll number center.
I'll just
number
check
and
up.
center.
Sorry, center and the roll numbers.
I would sit with them and examine. But now, my lord, what exercise, my lord, my learned friend wants your lordships to.
Or you can even do this. You can have masked roll numbers so that no identity of a student is disclosed.
Yes.
So you can have masked roll numbers in the sense you can have dummy roll numbers, but in a sequence,
Center.
center-wise.
That's-
Let them. Why should
So that we are also able to, my lord, apply our mind and maybe assist this honorable court better.
You can mask the center also. Yes. Center and roll number. Well, identity of the student. My lord. There is one.
It has been submitted that it would be appropriate to direct the National Testing Agency. We have heard Mr. Huda, Learned Senior Counsel, appearing on behalf of the petitioners. Full stop. However, during the course of the discussion in open court, we've also had the benefit of brief interjections by counsel on both sides, including by Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General, and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel, appearing on behalf of the NTA. Full stop. The petitioners have submitted.
No, my lord, I'm to be argued, my lord.
Yeah. The petitioners have submitted that it will be appropriate if the result of the UGC of the UG 2024 NEET examination is published on the website by NTA so as to bring about some transparency on the center-wise marks obtained by candidates.
No, center then is our identity.
Sorry?
Center and number will mark.
Without center,
In each center, there are 5,000 people.
Keep it.
In a center, there will be 5,000 people.
We direct NTA to publish the mark obtained by students in the UG NEET 2024 examination, while at the same time ensuring that the identity of the student is masked to preserve.
Identity at the center. We make it pretty.
And identity of the students is masked.
Something to say.
Center, please let them. You see, because that's the basis on which they may be able to perform.
They
to
have
indicate
analyzed
some
center.
trends, etc. If they can't, they fail. But at least there's a sense of.
An exercise, my lord, from the reverse. That now let us see whether there is any, without any material. They have not shown any material of any material.
See, what is happening actually, Mr. Solicitor, what is happening is this. In fact, the reason why we were engaging in a very detailed line of inquiry is because the fact that there was a leak, at least in Patna and Hazaribagh now is,
Leak, the theft.
yeah, but there was a leak in the sense that there was
Leak.
the question papers, the question papers had been disseminated before the exam. That is undoubted. Question which we are now wanting to consider is whether this was only confined to these centers, in which case there's no question of a retest, or whether this was more widespread. Now, the students have a certain degree of handicap because they would never have the kind of data which is necessary to prove.
Data goes to, my lord, the coaching centers, and there are several problems. This is not just students with which
Right,
we are
but
dealing with.
no, that's right. There's no difficulty. Therefore, we are not saying that you publish we want the students' identity to be masked because we don't want students to be approached.
No,
You can have dummy roll numbers, but in a series for those students so that no student's identity can be diverse.
that is sufficient
But-
safeguard, William.
But let us see center-wise what was the mark pattern.
Yes,
That's right.
At the end of it,
it's a data point.
at the end of it, Mr. Kaushik, even if they fail, we will have the satisfaction, they will have the satisfaction of having done their duty.
That's right.
But if the data does reveal something which has not appeared to us as laypersons, as judges, they will assist us at least. We'll.
We have
So
something
grateful.
to say. Let me discuss. If there is no difficulty, the losses may not.
No, that is the difficulty. my lord.
Ensure, my lord, that is possible.
Lord, investigation is concealed from us. The result is concealed.
The result should be the result should be declared in relation to each center separate.
Lord, we fix that time because ultimately they don't. If
This
they declare
exercise
it
may
on-
be done. This exercise shall be done.
Kindly have seats. So there are reasons. I
Let it be.
argue that. I wish to argue.
My lords, they have declared top 100 everything center-wise.
Yes, it's
They have given it to IIT Madras, my lord. They have given their analysis.
Madras,
center-wise.
but we have given because they are not private.
City and center wise. We'll say city and center.
My lord, your lordship.
This may. We will say that this may be the results will be uploaded by 5 p.m. On tomorrow on Friday.
Great.
Let them have an opportunity to at the end of it we'll see what to do.
The center wise can be deferred till.
No, let it be done. Otherwise, we have to see the end of the matter by Monday. Let them. So, yes, Mr. Venkataraman.
Let's finally make it day after tomorrow. It was 24 lakhs students minutes. It will take time to compile in that manner. Day after
That you can get. They have already.
By Saturday 12 noon.
My lord, there is a great urgency, my lord. It's not about meat. It's about, my lord, MSME. And my lord, High Court passed an order in the morning, my lord.
Email.
No, my lord,
Or batch. Circulate an email. That's what we do to everyone.
My lords, if I may mention an intervention in the current matter, please, Vanshika Yadav. Me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, we submitted our document on 16th morning. For some reason, it did not show in listing. This represents students from MP, from rural backgrounds and backward classes who have gone through great hardship to go through that NEET exam.
You don't want a repeat, right? Or you don't want
We
a
just
retest.
want that whatever decision comes, we seek an interim relief, my lords, that if a retest is ordered, in case a provisional counseling can be provided, that would be great. If a retest for any
Very
reason is
premature
ordered,
at this stage. Very
some sort of
premature.
exemption
We are-
may be made, sir.
We're in the course of hearing the matter. We haven't formed an
Sir, so if the application may be kindly taken on record, I'll be very obliged.
application. You mean your petition?
The intervention application, sir, we filed it on 16th itself. However, it has not shown on record.
Yes, it's no difficult.
Obliged.
Yes, Mr. Venkataraman.
Third batch listed
Sorry?
today. Income tax part third batch.
Income tax, we will take it on Tuesday.
Lord, my only request, your lordship can take it, my lord. There's a battery of councils to argue that side also. Will your lordship kindly hear, because being a part third, we are not able to go to any other court also. We're not able to do work here. We are really stranded.
Tuesday morning, Mr. Venkataraman.
At first matter and us first.
Yes, yes,
That's the
yeah.
only request, my lord, because
Absolutely.
it is
But-
always listed first but goes last.
Actually, throughout my career, I have followed the practice. Overnight part third comes first on board.
Well,
But this matter.
Well, I understand. Well, if there is a time constraint, your lordship can even adjourn it, but we're not going to anywhere. That's a difficulty. We have to say that.
Next matter first, Tuesday go first on.